Hey guys, Bob, I just wanted to check in real quick. Haven't done a market update for you in a while, so I wanted to kind of hit on some points of what's going on in this goofy market that we're in right now. I'm starting to get more and more questions, as you can imagine, just about everyone that runs into me. So how's the market? So thought I'd just do a quick video, and I've got a nice infographic that I'm sharing with you here today too, and some commentary from our friends over at the Cromford Report. They do a really nice job of evaluating the market each month for us, and plan on sharing that with you every month so you can kind of keep tabs on things. So anyway, long story short, when you look at the infographic, it kind of speaks for itself. Listings are up almost 40% over last year. We've got, almost 23,000 listings in our MLS on the market right now. So that's quite a significant jump over last year. Last year we were running 14, 15,000 listings. We're now up to 23,000. Under listings that are under contract have dropped less than 1%. So no huge change there. Median sales price is up slightly, only 3.4%. Closed sales are down about 5% over a year ago. So the market is definitely not crashing or really doing much of anything. For the last year or so, it's remained relatively flat, and I don't see anything really changing there. But a lot of the numbers are in the infographic I'm sending you. But I just wanted to. There's also our buddies over at Cromford did a little thing where they go through some of the common myths that are out there right now. I wanted to just address a few of those just from boots on the ground, what I'm seeing out there showing and listing homes every day. Um, One of the big things that people are wondering is, or they're saying they think buyer demand is declining. I'm definitely not seeing that. The last two listings I had in two totally different price ranges, one at 550 and one at 1,250,000. The 1,250,000 house actually had more showings weekly on a weekly basis than the 550 house, and sold quicker than the 550 house. Now, huge difference. The 1,250,000 home was in pristine condition, and that's something that you really need to be aware of in today's market. The days of, oh, I'll just sell it as is and come up with some fancy buyer incentives to get someone to buy my home, those days are gone. With interest rates being a little higher and people, putting significant down payments down, there's not a lot of room for buyers to go in and make improvements to a home. So you want to at least make sure all the basics are covered. The buyers are really looking hard at big expense items like roofs and AC units and condition of a swimming pool and the equipment and that sort of thing. Because quite frankly, once they get into that house, they don't have a lot of money to put into it. So the one thing I'm stressing when I'm going out meeting with sellers that are looking at putting their homes on the market, we're really dialing in on getting the repairs done, getting the place finally shifting more towards a buyer's market. In some parts of the valley, we are a full-blown buyer's market. And what I mean by that is buyers have the advantage, so to speak, over sellers. There's uh, more sellers than there are buyers out there right now. So buyers are able to negotiate more than they used to. We are getting seller concessions towards the buyer's closing costs, which we can use to buy down the rate. Okay. In January, I think they refer to this in their comments below, but in January, 57% of homes between 200 and $600,000, 57% had seller concessions involved, almost two-thirds, where the seller was contributing towards the buyer's closing costs. And in most cases, those funds were used to buy the rate down. It's not It's not uncommon for us to get the rate at or below 6%. You know, in some cases, we're able to get that thing to start with a 5, which we haven't seen in quite some time. Takes a good lender, which we, as you know, our lender is the best in the business, Lizzie Hofer. And believe me, they can get very creative with getting that rate down. Um, the other rumor that's kind of floating around out there is there's nothing to buy under $500,000. Well, that's absolutely not true. We have right now, I said we have 23,000 homes on the market. Almost 8,000 of those homes are priced at 500,000 or below. Single family. That's single family. So there's quite a few homes under 500,000. The trick is finding one that is in good condition and is worth, you know, what they're asking. So again, that's where I come in. So mortgage rates are too high. That's another big, I don't want to call it a myth, because some people think they are too high. And they are higher than what we're used to. But again, you've got to understand the dynamics of the market, okay? And sellers are willing to contribute funds towards the buyer's closing costs to get those rates down. So if you or someone you know is like, man, I can't do right now, I just looked at them today, they're 6.8%, which is as good as they've been in the last 3 or 4 months. But if that's still too high, we can do better. We can get that rate down to a payment that makes sense for most people. So keep that in mind. Home prices are about to crash. You know, I've got people saying, oh, I'm just waiting for the market to crash. Well, you're going to be waiting a long time, because right now, it's just not in the cards. We feel like things are getting ready to turn around. We feel like rates probably aren't going to come down a ton in 2025. Most of the stuff that I'm reading you know, I don't think anyone's really predicting rates getting down below 6% in 2025. And some are even predicting that they will not get that low in 2026. So, you know, this is the hand that we've been dealt. And if you're a buyer that needs to get a lower payment, we just need to figure out a different way to make that happen, okay, which I've already talked about. The other big thing, like I've already hit on already, is, you know, we've got sellers that think that they can just sell as is and do the you know, seller concession thing to get their house sold. Again, the houses that are sitting, I can't stress this enough, the houses that are sitting the longest are the ones that need the most work, because people just flat out, especially in the I would say under 750 range, they don't have an extra 20, 30, or $50,000 laying around to redo a kitchen or put a new roof on or put a new AC unit on. But again, there's always ways around that. It just comes down to, you know, being creative. And one of the creative things we do is, if you've got a roof that needs to be replaced and you're afraid of putting it on the market because you can't afford to replace your roof, or an AC unit, what have you, we'll go out, get a bid from a licensed contractor. And when the buyer does look at your home and says, wait a minute, I can't afford to put a new roof on, we'll just say, hey, well, we just got a quote. You know, it's $10,000 to put a new roof on. We'll just give you a credit at close of escrow, and you can do it at that point. So I guess what I'm saying is, where there's a will, there's a way. I've been telling people, amateur hour is over. Okay. Using your wife's nephew's friend that just got their license is not a smart move right now. You've got to use someone that knows what the hell they're doing and that's been here and can think of creative ways to make this happen. So anyway, I hope all this helps. You know, take a look at the infographic, the commentary down below. And as always, if you ever need anything, you know where to find me. All right. Everyone have a great day. Talk soon.